Oh God. Okay. This is actually going to be such an unpopular opinion video. It's unpopular. Like, you are not going to agree, but I'm not making content for you to agree. So I saw two videos today. One by Stephanie Lang, where she's kind of criticizing misogyny in a sense, where she's like pushing back on men who are saying, "Let me see you without your makeup." You're, like, if you're so pretty, and are you judging men based on how tall they are? Okay, well, I'm gonna judge you based on how you look without makeup. That's what the premise of the video is. And it's a bunch of men who are giving their critique. And then there's another video, which is, it was a Korean girl who was living in Korea and who was talking about the Korean beauty standard. I have so many thoughts, but to start out, I want to say I agree with the men here. The ugly girls and Sephora and makeup are like people. Okay, the reason we have a beauty industry is so that like women who don't have beauty have something to purchase so that they can like aspire to like be beautiful. In terms of like, at least in American society, almost like the commodity of the beauty industry is the runway. Sometimes, I guess I would say globally, maybe it's turned into like the music video, but mostly like the beauty industry and fashion has like a runway, and like really beautiful models from all over the world have been trotting down those runways with clothes and being the epitome of female beauty for a very long time. Now, I'm not gonna sit here. Here's the thing. Since there was a black model who has walked down that runway, that particular look has always encompassed my look. Like, I could always find a model on a runway if it was not just me who's like legitimately, like, I personally have never lacked representation. Even as there's anti-blackness, we could talk about the Korea video for a minute where that woman is sitting there and she's like, oh, that's another thing. The Korean beauty standard is a real thing, except it's like sad and weird. Because the Korean beauty standard is actually not even trying to like epitomize Korean beauty, it's trying to epitomize Russian beauty, which basically is like an ode to Korean people don't even like Korean people, they want to be Russian. What I will say is that, like, in real life on the internet, I have seen Korean women who are just Korean who are like really beautiful, but also I've seen like Russian women who are just Russian and they're really beautiful. And that goes for every other group, including all Black women and Africans and like Latin Americans and all the races. And why? Because I'm cultured. So I personally would encourage you to also be cultured and realize that, like, and I've said this so many times, the point blank period is that in every single group, like of all colors, of all nationalities, there's really attractive people and then there's like really unattractive people. So it's not like for one person you're gonna look at them and be like, oh yes, like every single person who has long nails is the thing that's attractive. It's like a package deal. Like the person all together, it's like how they put together the package is what makes them attractive. And I think that for many women, they have not done enough work to understand what their brand is, what they're like. So their put together isn't put together. Like, if you are Korean and you're trying to look Russian, it ain't gonna work because like you're not Russian. But like if you're Ethiopian and you're trying to look Ethiopian, like that's gonna work. Like, you know what I'm saying? And people are gonna be like, wow, she's like really pretty. And it's like, yes. Another thing is, like, in every single group, you are going to come across people from a group who just does not like you, and there are going to be those people who legitimately just don't like you. So there's nothing that you could do that would make it different. Like, they're not going to wake up one day when they're like, I find curly hair unattractive, and then they're going to be like, but for her, like, no, that's just their preference. And these are like male preferences. So a lot of the dudes are like coming online and being like, man, like the women are tricking us with the makeup. Like, you guys are like, and it's true. Sometimes the makeup is literally, it's sorcery. It's just girls who are like trying to look like something else, and they use makeup to do that. On the makeup tutorials, I thought, like, I missed that whole era. Like, not I missed it, I saw it. I just didn't participate because, like, I don't know. Like, I'm already pretty, so, like, I don't need to, like, the makeup isn't gonna do, like, nobody's paying me to make YouTube makeup videos, so, like, I'm not gonna do that. Also, like, if you're just modeling, like, there's a makeup artist. I mean, maybe do a shade match. Like, I was gonna come on and show that. Like, I actually purchased Fenty at this point because she has such a, like, Rihanna has such a large array of shades. So my shade is like 385. That's one I use. It works great. I like it. I don't even wear it every day, but when I do wear it, it works fine. Like, I don't know. I think that something else that is very strange, and this is like actually moving into kind of another topic I wanted to talk about. But Kenya made a video that was about whatever happened with Lululemon this weekend, I guess. So basically Drake was doing a rollout with his song, and so he paid, so on Valentine's Day, people who are at really nice restaurants, some of the people he like paid for their meals. And one guy was out with his girlfriend, and he posted his girlfriend, and she was wearing like a Lululemon jacket or something. And she was at a really nice restaurant for Valentine's Day, and people are making fun of this. They're like, oh, she looks like this and she looks like that, and she blah blah blah, and here's all the things that are wrong with her. And one of the things that Kenya said, there's a whole other video, because this video to me was so great. She unpacked so many talking points. But one of them was that, like, how Black women can be so critical of other Black women. And I think a lot of it is because, like, and I wouldn't even say some, I would say it's probably a very large percentage at this point, of Black women have just missed the mark. Like, first of all, they don't find themselves attractive, and I probably agree with them. Like, they aren't attractive, but it's like for reasons that are like fixable. Like, they're out of shape, they are just extremely hormonal, suffering from fat face, like cholesterol, salt, like lack of exercise, no produce, just a bunch of shit, stress, okay, like just a bunch of reasons of life really is poverty, like, that are making them unattractive. It's nothing to do with their natural hair texture, their skin color. There's a bunch of other reasons and things that are making these women not attractive. Large portion of them. And then if you couple on top of that, like, that also Black men are online being really, really mean, being like, fuck y'all. It's like, well, when you put all that together, yeah, it's a rough stack of chips. But, like, I really don't know. I'm not gonna say I don't know. I do know. If those women were to do work on themselves, then they would just look better. And then, like, in terms of like compatibility with males, if they are straight, they would have a larger variety of partners. But I almost feel it's like that for, like, the more that you invest in yourself, so eating better, just taking better physical care of yourself. It doesn't have to do with makeup, though. It's more about, like, drinking water, exercising, trying to make yourself, like, look presentable. Then you will look presentable, and then people will find you attractive. Especially the girl who comes online who was at the restaurant. She was actually, like, a very pretty girl. So for people to be coming for her, especially like other Black women coming for her, all the critiques that I heard, they weren't even like, it wasn't even shady. Like, it was more like, I feel like in her case, and I hope this isn't the case, but because she was like a darker brown skin complexion, she might have a bunch of insecurities. So the things that were actually like slight-handed compliments, she might not have understood them. But some people were like, why are you out to a fancy dinner in athleisure? And I mean, the I don't give a fuck answer is like, because I'm that bitch. Like, that's why. Like, I can literally wear like slippers to the dinner and he's still gonna pay for it. That's a whole ass flex. So, I mean, the haters in the comments, like, that's why those bitches are in the comments and she's at the dinner, right? We don't need to break that down anymore. It was like a bunch of other stuff. Some people were talking about how she didn't brush her hair or some shit like that. It's like, well, clearly that wasn't enough for this man to be like, I'm not gonna go to dinner with you. So it's not really a flex, boo. Like, I mean, I pulled many a very high quality men bald headed, so I literally shaved all of my hair off. I've talked about that on this channel before, and still probably took somebody's husband. So it's like, if that's really, if the bust down, okay, and the like Sephora bag is what you really feel is keeping you wherever you're at, do you. Like, clearly the sorcery of some of these women is working, because like they are buying the Sephora and then they are actually like turning a profit. And here's what I would say to that, like, more luck to you. Like, I hope these women keep going, because the more that they are keeping the men that I have no like intent to have any interaction with in society away from me, this is better. This is better for you. This is better for us, as those women continue to buy the makeup and they like spend the money on the bullshit to make them look better. Like, men see that and then men chase that, and men stay the fuck away from me. Less stalkers. Like, this is good. We need the society to keep running like this. There were some other things though. There was like a guy who comes on the video. Like, there's always a dude in the chat. And like, here's something I really want to say, like, gay men to the front. Gay men to the front. When there is an issue that impacts the gay male community, like, please stand up, speak out. When there is an issue that is impacting black women, straight black women, femme black women, to the back. Sit the fuck down. Stop talking. Stop talking about your friends and their stories. If you want to re-share something that some actual woman said, more power to you, but like, we don't need your input here. We don't need your input here. This is actually none of your business at all. Period. Like, gay men coming into conversations that have to do with straight people is one thing that really fucking wears me down. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. That this is like the first things first. You don't know what you're talking about. The reason that this is the most important is because, like, how can you say this? There was actually the video, you can go watch this. This was a video when there was the Meg Thee Stallion situation where I don't even know who the guy is, but Meg Thee Stallion is dating some guy. This guy had a track record of dating women who were like this. And so there's the type situation. Oh, this dude has a type. Every guy has a type until he sees a badder girl, a badder bitch who comes along. And then the new one that he saw now, that's his type. Guys don't really have a type. They like what is attractive. At least straight men. And I've seen a lot. So believe me or don't believe me, but like, also just keep observing and you'll see for yourself. So it was like the women who were like, oh, this is his type, were so confused. Like, in their mind, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe he dated someone who's not like me. This is so confusing for me, but I thought he had a type. Oh my God. Like, in their minds, they were confused. And that's because here's a little trick that men do. And I can tell you this, I have a lot of male cousins. And then I had a lot of male friends who just told me that this is what they do. Like, they go to one group, right? Let's say it's like girls who wear pink shirts. But in this case, it looked like it was a bunch of like Russian girls with like, who were like really thin and had like plastic surgery things. And I think they were all porn stars, but that was that particular community. So they'll go to that one community and they'll figure out some strategy that works. Whatever it is. Like, one guy will figure it out. Oh, she likes coffee in the morning. She likes eggs on a Tuesday. Whatever the thing is, right? Now this guy, he's now found the formula. So he's gonna go tell the other men, right, and be like, okay, so this is what you do in this community. So it isn't that this guy only likes this community, it's that he has like become street smart basically, and now knows how to interact with that community of women specifically. And because that community of women is also like straight and narrow, and that's what, when people are talking about basic bitches, that's what they're trying to describe. Like, she, remember when Drake had that lyric and he was like, she likes coffee and nuggets or something, and this is $20 nuggets from McDonald's, and that's what she's used to. So if you give her that, she's gonna be happy. That's what these guys are doing. They're like, whatever the thing is that she likes, that we figured out that she likes, and all those women like, we're gonna do that when we're around them. Then when we want to go to a different community, we're going to do this different thing. Now, if you're a woman and you're not like fucking retards like those chicks, then you'll be like, oh my God, that's what these dudes do. That's wild. Like, you can either be like, I don't want to play along with that. And then you could just literally be because here's the thing, like, if you're a human, you're gonna like grow and evolve. Like, certain things are going to change. You might have certain patterns and preferences for yourself, but you'll be able to like explain why you have that pattern and preference at that moment. And if it does change, you'll be able to explain that as well. Those people cannot do that because the only reason that they're not changing is just so that they'll be known for not changing. There's no other valid reason. Like, there's probably a better way to do something. There's probably a better tasting tea or coffee. Like, there's a million options for everything, right? You guys have been out in the world. Hopefully you've seen it. Also, if you're on just go on fucking Instagram. If you're like wondering what attractive people look like, there's so many, and they're from like so many different places. Like, if you can't find an attractive person from one group, it's simply because the algorithm knows that you're ugly and is trying to find people who are on your level. So go follow someone who's more attractive than you and your group of people, and then you will start to see for yourself. The problem is most likely your echo chamber. Nobody's going to make you more attractive. Like, you kind of are dealt the hand that you're dealt. But to expand on the point that I made about like gay men have a seat, women still have the woman card. So even without makeup, even without clothes, even without money, without anything, you're still a woman, which means like you have pussy power, not even in a joking way. Like, straight men are going to all the time. Like, pussy power is a thing. It's powerful. Like, I mean, I don't know. You don't have to like give yourself to anyone. I'm not saying that, but I'm simply saying, like, in all situations, like, especially if there are males around, you have that card that they don't have. You don't have to use it for anything, but you have it. Like, that is a flex. So maybe if more people just like learned how to like acknowledge the flex, because like that's the thing, like, gay men know they're not women because they don't have pussy power. They can do a lot with, there are a lot of gay men who are out here like flexing, we'll call it like ass power or whatever the fuck they have and they do. I don't involve myself with the knowings of that. Like, that is just like way beyond my personal level of interest. But like I said, I have gone to art school, so I've heard a lot of stories. Okay, there's a lot of gay males there. And like, in the world of like you being able to have like boundaries, preferences, and also just be incentivized for your work with either money or like rewards, like, why wouldn't you take benefits that like come to you because of your like attributes? And being a woman in that way is a literal attribute. I don't know if I made this point yet in the video, but the Korean girl who was talking about Korean beauty standards, she was right. I don't know why she like retracted her statement. Like, Korean beauty standards are a thing, and I think there's an admiration to basically look like Russian women, but it's also turned into something else. It simply has to do with like pop culture. Like, if you go watch the Pink videos, or you watch, I think another group is called New Girls, whatever those videos are. Those women are like, all they are is like made up Barbies, right? But that's like, we have a million places to see this. Like, we actually have a fashion industry where there are made up Barbies, and they like walk down the runway in gowns and really cool outfits, and you can like watch them. That's called high fashion. That's, or there's like commercial print, right? You can look at commercials and see attractive people doing that there. Like, we have this already. That's what America is in terms of like capitalism and propaganda. And I feel like if Black women are confused, go look at some of the blueprints. Like, we have Beyonce, who's done quite a lot of like playing into that, but also explaining a lot of things. You have Rihanna, who took it a step further and explained so many things. I mean, you have Maya, Aaliyah, Ashanti. Like, there are so many examples of like Black women, Black pop celebrities. You got Thames, Ira Star, Tyla. It's just like, at this point, like, if you are seriously a Black girl and you're confused about like if we can play the game, or if we are like attractive, or like, turn your fucking camera on. You know what I'm saying? Like, Meg the Stallion. Like, the fans and admirers of those women are men. A lot of straight men. And a lot of other people as well. But get real. And also, just like, in a very real way, like, go out into society. And like, go out into society without expecting anyone to give you anything in society, and then see what happens. But go out with standards for yourself. Like, realize that like, you going out is the gift because you're a woman. So like, you going out to the restaurant and just being out is like the gift to the other people, because you could just be in. And then hopefully like go out with money in your pocket so you can buy a coffee, buy a lunch, buy a dinner. And then if there's like an attractive man who's also there, then maybe he will also. But you know what I mean? Like, this is the way society works. It just is. It's just so strange to have so many people confused about so many things. And I think a large part also just comes from like the lack of relationship experience that so many women and men have. But also, I'm gonna blame a lot of women here. Like, I don't think that you should get into a like downtrodden, awful relationship, but if there's a possibility to get into like a better one, maybe do that, because like, you will learn a lot about men from like having a man. And I think like, a lot of y'all are out here making content that doesn't make any sense. And so everybody who's like had real relationships, real marriages, real like experiences are looking at y'all like, you're so dumb and you sound dumb. And that is not how any of this works. And even you will look back at your own content if you're making content like that and realize like how stupid you sound, because you sound really stupid. I don't know. I feel like I've unpacked this topic over and over, but like, yeah, the Korean beauty standard is a real thing for Korean women who seem to be trying to be Russian. At the same time, I personally just don't believe that Russian women are holding a candle to African women so, you know, everybody can feel their feelings, like, have their preferences. Please, everyone have your things. There will like always be beautiful women from every group. There will also be really ugly women from every group who go to Sephora and buy their shit. So let them buy their shit, and let us fucking please be like dust catchers and keep those dusties away from me.